What is up, YouTube's Mountain Man Magic, and I've had a couple patrons ask me my thoughts and expectations around Throne of Eldraine, and to save them from my ramblings and incoherent thoughts, I thought let's make a video where I talk about those expectations and predictions and kind of force myself to form my thoughts in a more succinct way. So I thought, why not make a predictions, expectations type of video? I don't know if people like these videos. Do people like these videos? No idea, but let's get into it. So Throne of Eldraine was designed from the top down, which means the flavor concepts of the plane that we're visiting are what drive the mechanics, the spells, the cards we end up using in the set. Throne of Eldraine is focused on Camelot meets the Brothers Grimm fairy tales. Now the Arthurian legends, you had King Arthur, Sword in the Stone, big round table, lots of knights. And then the Grimm fairy tales include classics and adaptations like Hansel and Gretel, Rapunzel, Little Red Riding Hood, and the Big Bad Wolf. So Throne of Eldraine certainly sounds different. And from these artworks, clearly we are in for something we've never seen before. Honestly, this artwork has me genuinely excited to start cracking packs of this set because it looks amazing. And I'm not one to say I need this on a playmat, but I would say that about multiple of these images, especially this incredible Seb McKinnon piece. I need it on a playmat. But even more so than the artwork or the spoilers we've seen thus far is the fact that the world looks completely devoid of any and every connection to another world or Gatewatch character we've seen before. After the massive crescendo that was War of the Spark, Magic's endgame as it has been called by many, Throne of Eldraine allows us the fans to recharge and get that breath of fresh air. But this set also gives the developers and game makers, artists, to take an idea and run with it however they see fit. And this has me really excited about the set because I'm imagining they don't have to worry about it fitting the game plan or the storyline of War of the Spark or the Gatewatch like we've seen for the past couple of years. But in this world of anything goes, what do I think will happen? Well, what we know will happen, based on a tweet from Gavin, is that we're going to have a Planeswalker partner pair. No idea how that's going to be implemented, but it's exciting to see. Maybe Rowan, who made an appearance in Battle Bond, comes back with her twin brother Will. Maybe they end up on the same card. Another is Goldilocks is definitely making an appearance in this set, and we have a new mechanic that we've really never seen anything like before, maybe. There's clearly a storybook element to this card. You can see the text box being split up into two different areas, the clear division between the sides, one that apparently shows us the cost, and then the other side that explains or further explains what happens when we pay the cost or activate this mechanic or ability on Goldilocks. So my first prediction here is that the mechanic will be called Ever After. Yes, we have a card called Ever After, but this would not be the first time we've seen a card show up and then a mechanic with that same name show up down the line. It happens. But I don't think it's possible to have a better name than Ever After from a flavor standpoint. Why? Because the cost you pay moves the story along and then, wait for it, shows you the character living happily ever after. And I think my prediction fits with the artwork as well, in that the standard printing of Goldilocks shows her in that one-drop form. Younger, not much to vouch for her hunting abilities, but the full art is Goldilocks living in her happily ever after, as someone clearly not to be messed with. The separating of the text box into two separate squares certainly has me scratching my head about what it could be or do. What I am sure about is that it's more than just a buff to Goldilocks, because if that was it, why have a new card style? We've got to have something new and cool in store, and I'm very excited to find out what it is. Another who I think will make an appearance in Throne of Eldraine is Little Red Riding Hood. I think Little Red Riding Hood has a similar card that we see with Goldilocks, where it's her and the Big Bad Wolf and him not having a great day. And then because the set was codenamed Archery, I gotta hoping that Robin Hood and his band of merry men make an appearance as well, in some fashion. My next prediction, with this being a story-focused set, is that we're gonna have the return of flip cards, level up cards, transforming cards, even sagas, because all of those would fit so well in a set like Throne of Eldraine. You want something that shows progress, and interesting stories show progress. They show that change and development of the characters as the story moves along. All of these mechanics fit that top-down approach really well, and I could even see multiple of these making an appearance in the set. A prediction that I don't think is quite as bold is that the Scryland cycle will be complete. Since we saw it in M19, I wouldn't be surprised to see it completed in Throne of Eldraine, and I hope it is, because the art of this set looks fantastic and I would be a huge fan. And this next prediction I know isn't as unique, but Throne of Eldraine is a high fantasy medieval world. We can envision castles and knights and maybe sectors of fairy tales fighting against other sectors, and we have protagonists and antagonists all making their claim for the throne of Eldraine. That rhymed. I didn't mean for that to rhyme. But the point is, you can start to imagine how this is Wizards' take on King's Landing, and you're getting a lot of parallels between this set and Game of Thrones. Then with Wizards announcing that Brawl is back, like they want to encourage this multiplayer format, and the point of any multiplayer game is often to be the last one standing or sitting as the king or queen or monarch. The monarch mechanic seems like such a natural fit for this set. I will be genuinely disappointed if it is not in the set because of how awesome I think it is. I just think it's so much fun in every Commander game I've played, and I'm kind of bummed again that newer players haven't had that experience or had that opportunity yet with current cards. My least unique prediction, but my most hoped for prediction, is that Monarch makes a return. A long shot hope that I have for this set is that partner commanders come back in the Brawl precons. Main reason being, I want to be able to tell the fairy tales how I want to tell them. I want Robin Hood and the Big Bad Wolf to team up and create a heist type of deck, and I think that'd be a lot of fun. What would be more magical than telling your own fairy tale? Anyone? And my final prediction, which has more to do with the storyline and less to do with the set and cards we're going to see, but it's not that only is Throne of Eldraine this powerful epicenter of the plane. Eldraine is also the name of the demigod fairy that rules the plane. And now she may not be around, maybe she's not in a ruling mood, but my hope is whoever sits on the throne of Eldraine gets Eldraine's powers, or she imbues them with her ability. And that's how we've ended up with this hyper fantasy world, is whoever has sat on it, or maybe Eldraine kind of pushes them to make these crazy fairy tale realities come to life. And that's why we see crazy gingerbread men running out of bake shops. It's pretty funny though. But I like this idea because we go from elder dragons, these huge end-all be-all powerful beings, and then doing a total 180, and now it's a little tiny fairy that's the all-powerful being of this plane. But to wrap up my predictions, I think the set in general is going to be powerful. I think it's going to be high value. I think people are going to look back and just enjoy this set. Again, because I think Wizards has been holding off on a lot of these great ideas that they haven't had time or a good set to implement them in. I think this set will be looked back on and remembered fondly, kind of like a fairy tale. The more I think about it though, the more excited I am for it. What I'm not excited about are these new booster pack changes that we have coming. It just feels confusing. It just feels like it's a lot. Normal booster packs are not called draft booster packs. We have the color specific ones back, but for Throne of Eldraine, they're monocolored. Nothing really too new there. But now we have collector booster packs, which are priced or expected to be priced at $20, $25-ish a pack. That's not too crazy from what we've already seen. But then they threw in, now we have new artsy cards and new foils and new foil artsy cards. And then you can only pull certain versions in certain packs. It's so confusing. Someone on Reddit had to make this image, and I'm glad they did. But to kind of circle back on my statement that Throne of Eldraine will be a valuable set, I don't think Wizards is going to put out a premium product like collector boosters without there being a decent number of chase rares and mythics in the set. I don't see many people wanting to buy it if there's no chance of that winning the lottery type feeling, right? That golden ticket feeling that never gets old, that Wizards knows what they're doing, and I can't be that mad about it, honestly. Just can't. My expectation prediction here is that collector boosters are going to fly off the shelves because people want that new shiny thing. Even if they complain about it, if there's good cards in it, they're going to want it. See the Mythic Edition fiascos in case you have any doubts about if they'll sell or not. There's also Planeswalker decks and Brawl precons, which the couple cards we've seen from the Brawl precons are ridiculous. Ridiculous in one sense, in that one, we have a pretty awesome mana rock that I think everyone wants or wants multiple copies of. And then we see a Bant commander that looks bonkers. This card looks insane, ridiculous, like in a great way, not in a bad way. It's just like, wow. Wizards is clearly coming out swinging and wanting to move these precons by putting cards in them that are obviously attractive to players of multiple formats. In paper, it's a big to be determined if this card that people want or want multiple copies of is behind the paywall of a Brawl precon. You could also see Wizards wanting Brawl to have first dibs and not have competition across other products for them. Planeswalker decks are back. Cool. What's your crazy conspiracy about Throne of Eldraine? I want to hear it. I want to know what your crazy conspiracy is. And the set's not even out yet, but I already have wallet fatigue. Is that just me? Great. But with that, what are your expectations or thoughts for Throne of Eldraine? Are there any cards or characters that you hope show up? Love to chat with you about it in the comments. Thanks for watching. Greatly appreciate it. Hope you're well, take it easy, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.